I'm going to introduce myself and then we'll jump right in. My name is Melissa Christopher, and I am a wellness advocate. I am an essential oil educator. I am a wife and a mom of 3 kids. I just came from the Christmas school program, which was so great. So that's why we had to bump it a little later. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me late tonight. But I've been using essential oils for almost 7 years now, and I would consider myself an expert at this level. I'm always learning, but there isn't really a topic that I can't talk about when it comes to essential oils, because I've been living this in my life for many years. So I've been into holistic health even before essential oils. I worked for a chiropractic office. I was one of the health coaches there, and then the head chiropractic assistant, and then the office manager. I was there for over 10 years. So moving into essential oils was a natural progression for me, but it was still brand new. I had no idea 7 years ago what essential oils were. I thought when my friend asked me if I was using oils, like she was talking about cooking oils, like olive oil or coconut oil. I had no idea what essential oils were. So if you're starting at that place tonight, that's okay. If you're starting up here in kind of an expert zone with me, I hope there are still great things that you can walk away with tonight, feeling like you have some new ideas and some new tools to support your immune system, especially in today's world. So the reason that the replay is only going to be available for 24 hours is, I'll give you a little disclaimer here. Essential oils are not a regulated industry. And so the FDA is very cautious about unregulated industries promoting themselves as answers for today's problems. It's very important that people don't make a drug claim about a product that isn't regulated in the drug industry, right? So for me to tell you about essential oils that impact the immune system, the FDA doesn't really want you to hear that from me. So I'm going to be speaking non-compliantly tonight. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think it's important for you to know what is really possible with the essential oils, how we're using them. I think that's what you want from me, right? You want the real raw deal tonight, right? Like, how are you actually using these? Give me straight. Well, that requires me to make sure that this information doesn't linger out on the internet for days and days to come. So if you have someone that's catching the replay, make sure they know they've got 24 hours to watch it, you as well. So bring on the non-compliance. All right, here we go. So this right here, this screen that you're looking at, is what you're not being told right now. And that's incredibly disheartening, because our bodies were made amazing. Amazing. From the time we are born until we die, our body is constantly working to maintain homeostasis, to be well. It wants to be well. But there are a lot of things in our world that interfere with that healing system. And so it might be poor nutrition. It might be poor mental health. It might be a lack of exercise or a lack of sunshine. It might be a lack of sleep. It might be overwhelming toxins in our home or our environment. And until we finally decide to start addressing those, there is no pill, no potion, no poke that will ever protect you in the way that these things will, because these were designed by our creator, and so were we. And so we've got to continue to look for the things that work with the body, that work with the design of our body to actually achieve impressive immune system function. Andrea Larson is preach. So I love that she commented, because I want to tell you, so I am not a medical provider. I have no degree in any medicine. I am a broadcast journalist turned chiropractic assistant, turned office manager, turned essential oil educator. All of my knowledge is because I live it every day for the last 15 years, day in and day out. So I know a lot, and I feel very confident to teach this class, but there are actually medical professionals on this call, including Andrea Larson, who's an NP, nurse practitioner, and others who are using essential oils in their practice with their patients and are seeing some of the same results. So feel free to put questions in the chat. She's here among other people, other registered nurses and other people with medical background. If that's something that you prefer to have influence the conversation, I hope you do, because I think there's a beautiful balance between both. So I felt like I needed that disclaimer as well. Okay, let's keep going. Thanks for letting me preach there for a second. So the first thing I would recommend if you're looking to keep your immune system strong is to incorporate immune modulating essential oils daily. Now, those are some big words. Let's back up. Immune modulating. That means, so sometimes you'll hear people say that essential oils boost the immune system, and that's not technically how it works. So I want you to understand there are lots of ways to increase function of the immune system. Essential oils aren't necessarily doing that. They're helping your immune system stay on guard, thus on guard. So I want you to consider that oil in a new light than maybe you ever have before. Sometimes we just call it On Guard. We don't really think about the fact that On Guard is exactly what that essential oil blend is designed to do. So essential oils like wild orange and clove and frankincense, all of these oils are designed to prepare the immune system to respond when necessary. And that's what you want, right? We want our bodies to be ready to fight. So some people with autoimmune type issues get concerned when we start talking about immune boosting. That's not what the oils are doing. We want our immune system to be modulated, to be ready to interact with whatever comes. And that's what these oils are doing. So I love the way doTERRA has this set up for us because they make it so simple. So you've got the regular bottle of On Guard, right? That's an oil that you should be diffusing on the daily because that is getting the essential oil up in the air. The essential oils that are in that blend are eliminating airborne pathogens. They're cleaning your air, they're cleaning your surfaces, and it's a powerful respiratory oil. But doTERRA's made it even easier. They've put that essential oil in a roller ball. They've diluted it with fractionated coconut oil, so there's no sensitivity possibilities, and that you can apply to your skin. So I use On Guard roller all the time down my lymph nodes. I want that area. That's your immune system right in here, right behind your neck. That's some of the first places you feel get tight or tense when you're not feeling well. That's a signal your immune system is working. That's not a signal that there's a problem, although it's telling you, hey, I'm giving you a signal. I'm starting to work harder than normal. Help me out. So the On Guard roller is a perfect roller to be using down the throat daily. And then the On Guard Plus soft gels are On Guard oil plus other essential oils that are some of the highest antiviral, antimicrobial oils that you can have access to. So we typically take an On Guard Plus capsule every day. It just makes sense to us, especially in our world right now. I don't know why you wouldn't want to have your immune system ready for action at any point. Once we start feeling symptoms, and we're going to talk about recovery here before we finish, we start taking multiple soft gels because it's not like a medication. Essential oils are very, very different. They're made from plants, and our bodies recognize them really quickly. If you take a drop of essential oil and put it in your hands, within seconds, it's servicing every cell in the body. Within about 20 seconds, it's working. Within about 20 minutes, it's servicing every cell in the body. And so it doesn't take long for the body to use what the essential oil offers and move on. And so within 2 to 3 to 4 hours, you're likely going to need to reapply because that's just how natural products work. They work with the body. They don't have as long of half-lives as medications do. So I wanted to throw at you, for some of you that have been around for a little while, some lesser known immune supporting oils. So if I could only have one oil to support my immune system, it's going to be On Guard. It is absolutely hands down most important to have in your home. But did you know all of these essential oils on your screen support the immune system? And did you know the #1 oil that has been shown in some preliminary studies to be effective against the most talked about threat in our world today, starts with a co, ends with a vid, that one is eucalyptus. So eucalyptus would be the second most important oil for me to have in my home right now. On Guard and eucalyptus. Did you know that On Guard has eucalyptus in it? What other oil on this screen, quick for the people that are in the chat, also has eucalyptus in it? Anybody want to take a quick guess? Who's the fastest typer? Breathe. Breathe also has eucalyptus in it. So Breathe and On Guard. I had a customer message me a couple of weeks ago. She had just had taken a test and found out that she had the COVID, right? And so she went into, I think she went into acute care. I guess I don't remember the whole story, but she said, I had to message you because guess what the attending physician there told me to go home and take? On Guard and Breathe. And I was like, who is this person? Who is this provider? I need to know their name and number. That is amazing. So she went home and started using Breathe and On Guard because that's what they told her would be actually the most effective for her to recover quickly. And that is because of the eucalyptus in there and many other supportive oils to not only the immune system, but to the respiratory system. So that's eucalyptus and Breathe. Melissa oil, obviously a fan favorite, my namesake oil. Melissa is one of the most antiviral oils that you can purchase. Now, she's spendy, although doTERRA actually lowered her price this year, almost $15. I just bought one Monday, actually, because I picked up my husband from work with my kids in the car. And we were going to go do our Christmas tree shopping. And I started feeling my lip. Y'all know, you already know, the people that know already know what I'm talking about. I felt a bubble on my lip. I flipped down the visor and I'm like, I have a cold sore starting. And I have PTSD about cold sores because I grew up as a very ill child and I had cold sores all the time. So many that it would like close my mouth shut. I would have to like eat through a straw. I remember terrible, terrible, embarrassing moments as a child with cold sores all over and in my mouth. That is a sign, if you have cold sores, that your immune system is not ready to fight. It's very weak. When I got mono when I was in high school, I had it for 3 months. Those are signs that the immune system is struggling. So anyway, Melissa is my favorite oil because it can eliminate a cold sore. Do you see a cold sore here? No, you do not. And that was on Monday. Within 1 hour, it was gone. Within 1 hour, it was gone. If you have cold sores, you know they last 2 weeks. So I didn't actually have any Melissa. I turned to my husband. I'm like, I have a cold sore. He's like, we're out of Melissa. I was like, drive to Stacy's house right now. She's a girl that I do doTERRA with. I knew she'd have a Melissa. So anyway, she did, but I bought a replacement one on Monday. Anyway, all that to say, I love that oil. It's for support to the immune system. Stronger is the On Guard alternative for kids. It comes diluted in that roller. Lemon is one of the best oils for breaking up mucus down the throat. Black pepper is my favorite for a respiratory infection, specifically sinus, like a sinus infection. And then DDR Prime. How many of you really know a lot about DDR Prime? No, most of you don't, right? Some of you are like, yeah, of course, Andrea knows about DDR Prime. See, she's having fun. She's putting all this research into the chat. So hopefully you guys can click some of those links and go look at them later. So that you don't have to take my word for it. You can, she's going to back up everything I say. So y'all know I'm not making it up. But DDR Prime is an amazing blend and it's full of antioxidants. We have to have antioxidants for our immune system to function well. And it's most well known for repairing damage from free radicals. And free radicals can happen just from our environment. They definitely increase during seasons of stress, but they lower the immune system. They lower the function of the immune system. And so I love DDR Prime for a little switch up to your body. If you feel like On Guard, Breathe, Eucalyptus not giving you quite the results, I jump over to DDR Prime as fast as possible. So this has oils like frankincense, wild orange, litsea, thyme, clove, summer savory, niaouli, and lemongrass, like highly antiviral oils, an amazing blend. So anyway, are any of those new for some of you? Not probably the ones that you first grab for, right? When you're thinking about immune system. So I want you to think about some of those. All right. Here are the basics. For if you're brand new, these are the top 5 oils that I would be using for my immune system. We already talked about On Guard, right? I talked a tiny bit about lemon being supportive to the lymphatic system, what helps restore sore throats, helps break up mucus. It smells amazing. Frankincense is the king of oils. He is anti-inflammatory, and oregano is nature's antibiotic. So you can see why I chose these 5 oils for my ultimate immune support. I think every home should have a roller ball made with this recipe in it, and everyone can use it. Children, adults, the elderly, everyone can use this recipe. You could even double it if you wanted it to be more strength. I think this is a very normal level of drops. So that would be what, 10, 20, 30, 40 drops. 40 drops is a very normal amount to put in a roller ball, and that can be used daily. On the bottoms of the feet is a great way to apply the oils daily, especially if it has especially if you put oregano in it, you'll probably want it on your feet, unless you want to smell like a walking pizza kitchen. I don't know, up to you. But also really great on the throat, or on the lymph nodes, back of the neck, all of those places. Make sure you dilute it with coconut oil and you'll be ready to go. You could cut the drops in half for someone under 1 would be my recommendation. So here's some ideas for immune support for kids. Roseanne is asking about kiddos. We all want our kids to have strong immune systems. The most important thing that we can do is assist their gut. In the first 2 years of life, their gut is still sealing, like closing up. So we don't want to be introducing things that can actually harm the gut of a child. That's why I am crazy diligent about keeping my kids away from sugar as much as possible, antibiotics if at all possible, any kind of food that can be toxic, like processed foods and things, up until the age of 2 at least, just because I want their gut to seal. Your gut is the source of about 70 to 75% of your immune system. So it is my focus in the first 2 years of my kids' life. So probiotics, incredibly important. They can get that through your breast milk, but I love to supplement with them. And then making sure you're cleaning your surfaces with things that are not toxic for them. I remember someone told me that kids will lick the floor, and I thought that was so strange until I walked into the kitchen and saw my own child like licking the floor. That's like, really blew my mind. They really do that thing. Okay. So then I realized it really does matter what I'm cleaning my floor with and what I'm cleaning my dishes with, because we're ingesting that. So if those are things you haven't thought about, those are places to start. So you see On Guard all over the screen here, right? They've got the On Guard oil that we've talked about, the On Guard sanitizing, the hand soap, the cleaning concentrate, all of those things. My children take 4 supplements every single day. They take a kid's multivitamin, they take an omega oil or fish oil, they take a probiotic, and they take vitamin D3. In the summer, we typically drop the D3 because they're out in the sun all the time. But those 4, my famous 4 for my kids every single day, I think adults should do that as well. Taking a multivitamin, an omega oil for joints and brain and heart health, a probiotic, and vitamin D3, especially those of us that live in the upper part of the United States. In Canada, we need to be taking in vitamin D3. That's what our body produces when it's in the sun. But even when we're in the sun, we have to have our chest or our upper back or our eyes exposed to the sun to actually be able to absorb enough to get enough for the day. And so some of us still need to actually supplement in the wintertime. But it's really important for you to understand there is no essential oil, there is no supplement, there is nothing that's going to replace the way God created our bodies to work, right? Eating nutrition is required. We can supplement, but that's called supplement for a reason. It supplements nutrition. It's not a replacement for exercise, movement, so important, right? Resting and managing stress. We're going to talk about that, as well as reducing toxic load. All of those things allow us to have informed self-care. I knew the second I started feeling that bubble up on my skin, because I have had so much experience with cold sores, and I feel the same way about my immune system. And maybe some of you do too. Tell me in the chat if you feel like you are hyper aware of when your immune system is starting to signal to you, hey, I'm working harder. For me, it's tight lymph nodes right underneath my ears. That's the first thing I feel. Or maybe you feel a little bit more tense, or maybe your lips are more dry. I mean, there are tiny little signals that our body gives us when it's starting to prepare itself, that if we can continue to pay attention to, then we can get on top of it really quickly, and we'll get better results that way. So let's talk about a few other additional immune supporting supplements that I would recommend. Now, these don't necessarily need to be things that you're taking every single day, but I feel like in today's environment, and especially if you have concerns about your immune system, a lot of you rated your immune systems at a 3. I saw a lot of 3s. Anything under 6 or 7 or 8, I would be looking for more ways to support the immune system until it can get up to a better working threshold. So you hear a lot about, well, hopefully you're hearing a lot about zinc and vitamin C and vitamin D for the immune system right now. I'm trying to take those every day. I feel like that is a very simple thing for me to be doing. If I feel symptomatic, I'm taking even more of a higher dose of those. Now, the Yaropalm Beauty Complex, a lot of times this gets overlooked because it's definitely a great supplement for skin. But did you know what's in the Yaropalm complex? I just thought I would throw this at you if you hadn't already considered. It has the Yaropalm and the pomegranate in it, but it also has celery seed, which is amazing for the gut. Remember, we talked about that connection. It has frankincense in it. It has turmeric in it, also incredible for the immune system. It has Melissa oil in it, and it also has zinc and vitamin C. It's an immune supportive supplement. So and especially powerful for the immune system and the nervous system. And so it's something you could be taking daily to improve the look of your skin and the clarity of your skin, and also supporting your immune system at the same time. So you see a vitamin D there, the Copaiba soft gels, the turmeric capsules, and then consider maybe even the nutrition line like the greens or the On Guard Plus if you need help really encouraging the immune system to kick it into gear. So here's number 3, taking out processed foods and sugars. I know I'm the bad guy here in this conversation because it's like 10 days before Christmas, right? But I'm telling you, we can say that there's a cold and flu season, but I find it eerily interesting, coincidental that it's also the season that we spend the most time indoors, the most time sedentary, the most time in front of processed foods and sugars, the most time around lots of groups of people. So I'm not going to argue whether or not there's a cold and flu season, but I do want you to be aware that that's coincidental, right? There's a lot of indication that sugars can lower the function of the immune system, especially like sodas or pops. Literally a can of soda can decrease immune function for up to 7 hours. One can. So just make wise choices, especially if you feel like your immune system does not function the way you wish it does, like you get constantly or chronically sick, or like children. See what happens by taking some of those things out of your diet for, I don't know, 6 to 12 weeks. And I think you might be surprised how much improvement you can see there. All right, we'll move on. Nobody wants to hear that from me tonight, right? Number 4, managing sleep and stress. This is so easy. You can see my email. I know I don't know how to get this off. Thank you for telling me that. Did someone reply to all of those while you're sitting here too? Because let me see if I stop and restart my share here. Huh. Andrea, how do I get that off?
Can still see it.
I don't know. Oh.
How about that? Okay.
There you go.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to back up because sometimes this rolls off our tongue a lot. And I have talked with a lot of people that actually get frustrated when providers say, well, you've got too much stress, and just send them home like we're just supposed to like eliminate the stress. How do we actually do that, right? I always feel like when I'm at the most stress, I'm like, for me to be less stressed right now, I'd have to be on a beach in Mexico and my kids would be with their grandparents. And that's not realistic. That's not going to happen. Like, I'm not going to sell my kids, can't quit my job. I can't punch my boss in the face. I don't know what's causing you stress. My sweet lady over here is probably like, what am I going to do with my chickens and goats that drive me crazy, right? She's a farmer. I don't know what's causing you stress in your life. And there's likely not an easy way to fix that. But how is your body, your brain, your nervous system, your hormones responding to that stress? And could there be a way that we could actually reverse the negative process of that and stop the production of stress hormones, even when our situation may not change? Absolutely. And that's the design of these products. So you're looking at the Serenity Restful Complex, the Adaptive Calming Blend. Those are designed to influence your hormone release, your central nervous system, and specifically your cortisol production in the brain. So you've heard of fight or flight, right? You get stressed, something happens, and cortisol raises in your body for a good reason, right? To help your body move quickly, respond quickly, make quick decisions. But the problem is, as soon as that cortisol spikes, everything else lowers. So the fastest way to tell your immune system to take a hike is to shoot your cortisol through the roof. And that's okay for a few hours, right? If you had a stressful moment, someone pulled out in front of you, or, you had a situation like that. But when that stress lingers day after day, week after week, month after month, and you're in year 2 of stress, and you keep telling your brain that, and you're making no effort to retrain and to readdress those feelings, that's a problem. And you're going to see your immune system tank absolutely in seasons of stress. So we've got to be getting good sleep. That's the only time our immune system will restore itself. So use things that assist the body in recovery. I love the Serenity Complex. I love Copaiba soft gels. Honestly, with the Serenity, that's my favorite combo, one of each. The Serenity oil, but there's actually a million options for quality sleep. If you want something more floral, it's Serenity. If you want something super earthy, it's Balance. If you don't necessarily want any kind of aroma, you want to take something under your tongue, 2 drops of Copaiba. And then Calmer Rollerball is what we use with our kiddos when they are restless and not sleeping well. So deep sleep. Oh, let's see. You guys are chatting here. Haven't had dreams in years since before I had my baby. Yeah, children kind of messed that up for a few years, but I think there are still ways to continue to sleep well, even if it's for short chunks of sleep. We still want to be falling asleep quickly and not waking up several times throughout the night. The last thing here, actually, I think I have one more after this, is talking about reducing toxic load. So our immune system can only stay as powerful as the energy our body has to give towards it. What do I mean by that? When we're encountering toxins, our body has to figure out what to do with them. And our body was made to process toxins. That's why we have a liver. That's why we have kidneys. That's why we have intestines and a digestive tract and all. That's why we have pores in our skin and all of these places that can help eliminate toxins. But we were only created to encounter so much. And our environment has changed dramatically in the last few decades. And so it's really important that we're assisting the body in a process of detoxification to help support it. And so one of the ways to do that is to stop putting toxins on our skin, to stop encountering the toxins. And a lot of times in our environment, we don't have control over that, but you have 100% control for what toxins are in your home. And so if this is not an area that you've started looking at, we have to start here. It makes no sense to detox the body, but slather it in toxins all day long. So these are amazing products that doTERRA makes that has made the toxic switch so to untoxic or non-toxic, very, very simple. The toothpaste, the hand wash, you can DIY so many things for very, very little. You can DIY your toothpaste if you want to. You could DIY sanitizer. You could DIY hand wash. You could DIY a countertop spray, floor cleaner, wood cleaner, everything. But some people want it made for them. And so doTERRA now has an abode cleaning line. This is just important for you to start exploring a little bit so that you can eliminate the overload to the immune system because of the energy it's expelling to try to eliminate toxins. So a lot of people don't make that connection. In fact, we actually do the opposite, don't we? When we're concerned about our immune system, what did the world do in 2020? What was bare? What shelves were bare in Target? It wasn't the vitamin D3. I had no problem finding vitamin D3 in 2020. What did we have a problem finding? Lysol. Well, toilet paper. Yeah, toilet paper. And On Guard too. I always joke that On Guard was the toilet paper of 2020. All of a sudden, everyone went and started buying all the On Guard. That we're sanitizing everything. And now, are there bad germs? Are there bad pathogens? Of course. But our body is actually more bacteria than it is human cell. Like we are made of good bacteria. Our gut is full of good bacteria. And so when we eliminate 99.9% of bacteria, we're not just killing the bad guys, we're killing the good too. And it absolutely impacts our immune system. So how can we work with the body, eliminate the bad, keep the good? We've got to use something that God made that knows how to differentiate the difference. And it's not Lysol. Sorry, Lysol. It's actually incredibly damaging, not only to your respiratory system, but to your immune system. So all right, I'll stop there. Off my soapbox for a second again. The last thing that I want to talk about is recovery. I'm getting so many questions about recovery, even people that have been using oils for a long time because they've been sicker than they have ever been recently, or in a long time. And so it's really important that you have a plan in place, kind of what you're going to do before you get sick, because once you get sick, it's so hard to dig yourself out of that like sick hole, I guess. I don't know what else to call it. When you're sick, you forget about what's in front of you, right? And so that's the beauty about being a part of doTERRA, is you have someone like me or like Andrea or like Donna or whoever, so many of you on here that are skilled and can say, oh, do you have your On Garden eucalyptus? Put that in the diffuser. Or like, we can help remind you all of the tools that you have. And that's a huge gift. But there are so many things you can be prepared with. So I just sat down today and made my quick list. If I was sick, which I have been, my whole family was sick in October. None of us had to go to the clinic, and not one of us used a medication during that time. So that's all the way from 37-year-old to a 35-year-old to a 9-year-old to a 6-year-old to a 2-year-old. All of us had something within those 4 weeks. It was really fun. No, of course not. But the symptoms are normal. This isn't a normal expression. This is a way for your body to detox, to eliminate what's bad, and really build up back stronger. So here are the things that we do all the time without fail. We pull out our favorite book called Symphony of the Cells. I bet I don't have that sitting here, but you have it on your screen right here. It's called Symphony of the Cells, and it is full of protocols that tell you exactly what to do, how to apply the oils in a systematic way to the spine and the feet, through the respiratory system, to get results really quickly. How many of you have used Symphony of the Cells? Tell me in the chat how much you love this book. Andrea is showing you in her picture here the respiratory protocol. There are 3 protocols out of the 16 in this book that I would recommend for the immune system, although there are others that overlap. But infectious disease, #1 favorite, respiratory coming in a very close second, and the inflammatory protocol. So all of them start with frankincense. Remember that king of oils, in the anti-inflammatory, immune modulating, amazing oil. And then it'll tell you which oil to layer on next, and what's after that, and what after that, and what after that. There's typically between 8 and 9 oils. This book is absolutely the reason we've stayed out of the clinic for the last 6 years. 100%, hands down, this is my medicine cabinet toolkit. So my sickness actually kind of lingered into November, and my husband works retail. Not a time to get sick right now, right? So he is like, do not get me sick. Well, last Friday, he woke up and he's like, I can't take the kids to school. And I'm like, no, you can't get sick. So we drove over here. I actually have an infrared sauna right behind this wall here. And a massage table. He laid down on the massage table. I gave him the infectious disease protocol, and then he sat in the infrared sauna. I actually made him a little On Guard tea because I'm so cool like that. So sweet. And then he went home and took a 4-hour nap. And we went to a family Christmas party 4 hours away on Saturday, because by Friday night he was like, that's done. I'm over that. It's amazing. We've done that numerous times because we've gotten on the symptoms immediately. We start a Symphony of the Cell protocol. If you have access to infrared sauna, it's an amazing way to support the immune system. We're always working to clear our sinuses with the sinus rinse. This is our favorite little neti pot here. We put 1 drop, 1, not 2, just 1 of tea tree in the solution, and let that rinse through our sinuses. The doTERRA humidifier is life-changing. I had it off one night, accidentally didn't realize it, coughed all through the night. And then the next night turned it on, realized when I woke up that morning that I hadn't coughed all night, and finally made the connection that the only night I coughed all night was the night I didn't have the humidifier on, like accidentally. Won't make that mistake again. I currently have 2 doTERRA humidifiers in my home because I'm never going to want to decide who gets it, kids or me, right? And I just told my husband and I think I'm going to order a third one because we have 3 bedrooms. Andrea has 4. See, we don't mess around. When you have kids and you realize that they will actually sleep even when they're sick with a humidifier, you're like, $54 done, bought, right? So anyway, we love that. I always encourage you to double up on your supplements. Vitamin C, you can take all the way till bowel intolerance. Vitamin D3, you can take way more than you think you can take, up to 100,000 IUs of D3. So there's a lot of research on the benefits of mega dosing for a few days while symptoms are present. Chiropractic adjustments, you know I'm a chiropractic girl. There are so much research to support the interleukin 2 levels. That's your immune system that get raised post adjustment. Lots of rest. I think part of the reason my husband recovered so quickly is because we made a way for him to go home and just sleep for 4 hours. And then vegetable juicing. So often we're not getting enough nutrition, and the easiest way for our body to get nutrition as quickly as possible is to remove the fiber from it and just let the juice, like we juice a bunch of fruits and vegetables and drink that down. It makes a huge difference. So this is the inside of my brain right here. If you ever text me and ask me what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to send you this list. So you don't need it now. Now you have it. That is what I'd recommend. Here is something to screenshot or write down, because these are some great recipes if you need to attack something specifically. You can make your own mouthwash, your own throat spray. You see that immune support from earlier up there. A steam mug, such a great way to clear the sinuses where you're boiling water, breathing it in. Mucus buster, cooling it down. A lot of these oils. One thing I want you to notice down here under mucus buster, do you see DigestZen? I know you're thinking, why would you put DigestZen under mucus? That is a secret, you guys. This is a secret that you need to know about that oil. It is the best breaker upper of mucus, especially in the sinuses. It breaks up. So if you have kids, they like don't want to blow their nose when it's really congested because nothing comes out, right? And they get frustrated. So I never let my kids blow their nose before they roll the DigestZen over their sinuses, because then they always get stuff out and then they let me force them to keep blowing their nose. If you don't have kids, you're like, this girl talks about the weirdest things. And if you have kids, you're like writing like crazy, aren't you? Because this is like real life here. So anyway, that's one little trick I wanted you to catch down there. The last thing I'm going to show you here is how doTERRA makes it easy for you. If you're at overwhelm, I apologize. Number one, I'm a little intense. I talk really fast, and there's just so much I wanted to share with you tonight. But you can take a lot of the guesswork out of this by ordering an immunity kit from doTERRA. They actually take the top products that are most understood for supporting the immune system, for helping it modulate, put it all together, and then discount it for you. So do you see this first little, I know it's tiny, but this has Wild Orange, Purify, and On Guard in there, immune supportive oils, the sanitizer, the hand wash, the toothpaste. That is the first kit, and that will ship to you, and then it will change to the second immunity program kit. So it'll be different essential oils and products to support the immune system. So over a 3-month period of time, you have an affordable kit that comes that will really expand what you have in your house to support the immune system. But the best part of that program is the add-ons. So if I have a wellness program kit in my cart, do you see all these products on the bottom that you can add on for less money than they actually cost wholesale? And look at, it's all this stuff we talked about tonight: a diffuser, the On Guard Plus, the Copaiba, the turmeric, the On Guard. Like, they know what you need to support your immune system, and they're letting you have it at an even deeper discount than wholesale pricing just by being on that program. You could put month 1 of the program in and pull it out. You're not committed to anything. You could process it 1 month and then come back to it in month 4. The cool thing is it knows where you left off. So it'll start shipping month 2 when you put it back into your cart. You know that you can add on extra supplements from the Lifelong Vitality, right? That's how I get my kids supplements. That's how we get the probiotic and all of that. So once you've spent 125 PV, then you get, so that says 150, it's 125, and you'll get the free oil of the month. This month it's clove, amazing oil for the thyroid. Also delicious to diffuse. But so this is a look at it right here, free with 125p order. Clove, ylang ylang, 10% off this month. Y'all know that. And anybody who makes a 200 PV purchase is going to get those 3 oils for free. Myrrh, frankincense, and holiday love, which is a brand new oil. Has anybody gotten their box yet? Anybody know what that smells like? So good. Okay, I haven't gotten mine yet, of course. And now it probably won't come tomorrow because even though it says it's going to because of the snow, they'll still drop it off, won't they, Donna? Okay, she believes in me. So that is all free for you guys for spending a 200 PV order. So that could be someone that's already a customer with doTERRA. That could be someone that's never purchased before. Anybody is eligible. So if you've not gotten started, make sure you reach out to the person that invited you here tonight. Let them lay out a very simple plan. Go back through what we talked about tonight and figure out what are the few oils I need to start with. It's likely that rollerball. That FLOOT, frankincense, lemon, on guard, oregano, tea tree. It's those 5 for sure. And you could, the next month, you could add on that immunity kit and start working through the rest of them. So, but they're going to help you get all these free products. And so that's a really cool setup. So if you have been, now this was a continuing ed class. This was one of 12 that were taught all this year. It's a perk for being a part of our team. We opened it up to everybody tonight because we think this is a topic that everyone needs to understand. But if you are a customer of ours and you've attended 8 of our continuing education classes throughout the year, you're going to get a free diffuser from us. So make sure that you fill out the questionnaire that Andrea is going to put in the comments, or you can find it on livingdropcollective.com. But that is necessary to make sure that you get access to that. The last thing that I want to finish with is just understanding that we realize there are about 3 types of people that we get the opportunity to support. And the first is people who want to live the wellness lifestyle. I love being equipped with the tools that I have in my home. I love knowing exactly what to reach for when my kids are sick, or when I'm feeling those tight lymph nodes, or when I've got pain running down my legs, or when I can't sleep at night. I can walk right to my cabinet and pull those things out. And that's the wellness lifestyle. We want to help make that normal for you and common for you as well. But some of you want to get your products paid for. And we have customers that are doing that, sharing with their friends and family. And I want you to know that's an option. Or you can build an income with us, make an impact. Being able to hear from a customer like that, that says, hey, I walked into acute care and everything you've told me is what they told me to go home and do. That feels really amazing as an educator to really feel like, wow, I was a part of supporting her in that. And so that's what we do as doTERRA Wellness Advocates. And we are looking for more people to partner with because we're obsessed with doTERRA. And I don't know how much you know about the company, if you're brand new or if you've been around a while, but this is a company with a heart. Their motto is to source the best oils and help the most people at the same time. And that's a really important thing to me. I want oils that not only work, but I want ones that are purchased with sustainable resources and where the farmers who farm these products for me get paid a fair wage and get paid on time. And that's not common in the essential oil industry. In fact, it's really common to have a broker work for your company and go out and negotiate prices with farmers and get them cheaper and all of those things. And so we prefer to do sometimes the hard decision and maybe even not source an oil for a little while, just until we can get it 100% the way it needs to be for our customers. So a lot of things to read through here. I mostly want you to understand how different doTERRA is. They're certified, pure, tested grade. And you don't have to even take my word for it. You can look up all the testing that's been done on each bottle. And you can even see the stories behind all the bottles. Go look up a frankincense sourcing video and learn about how that's impacting farmers in Somalia across the globe. Here's a little bit of a look at it. I think those are actually turmeric. It looks like turmeric farmers up there on the top. But what right below them, I want you to see this picture is a picture of a brand new hospital system. Looks a little bit different than what we're used to in the US, right? But this is a hospital system in Somaliland. And it was built with a partnership by doTERRA. They built it in 2020 because this area of the world, you see it out in the distance, don't look like there's a nearby town there anywhere, does there? And there's not. People were traveling hours to be able to see a physician in this area. And this clinic already has seen 4,500 patients just since its opening last year. Was it this year or last year that it was open? This year? Oh, since this year, I was wrong. So opened in 2021, this May. Thank you for sharing that. And they've already done 11,000 diagnostic tests. So they're offering medical care to people that wouldn't otherwise not have access. And this month, doTERRA is donating $5 from every 200 PV order. So every customer that gets all those free products, they're going to donate $5 from that order to a $2 million goal to give to this hospital, because they want to start bringing in some dentistry options for these people, and other things that they are in great need of. We've already raised $1 million, you guys, since December 1st. doTERRA has given $1 million. You can also make donations on your behalf, but for every 200 PV order, doTERRA is giving $5. So cool, right? I wanted you to know what doTERRA is up to around the world. So if you have questions about sharing doTERRA, how much money you can earn, how much time is involved, if this is a good fit, if you want to learn more deeply into the deep part of doTERRA, the heart of doTERRA, we hardly touched that tonight. That's what we want to talk with you more about. So connect with the person that shared doTERRA with you. There's a quick link here. If you want to watch a business opportunity recording, you can certainly do that. And then make sure you fill out the questionnaire before you leave, if you are a part of our group already and need to be entered for the diffuser giveaway. I'm happy to hang out for some questions if you have them. We're right at 45 minutes, which I think is kind of what I was planning on. So we do have a little bit of time. Yeah, Andrea said the first day that hospital was open, they did a surgery on a little boy who was kicked in the head by a camel. Not really an everyday problem we see here, right? But that's pretty real life for them over there. And he would not have lived without that facility. So some pretty life-saving stuff happening over there. Pretty cool. Yeah. Thanks for putting that form in. Yeah, 51%, Hattie. That was pretty cool to see that this morning when I logged in there. So such good stuff there. Anybody have any questions they want to throw into the chat that wasn't answered? Anything specific they want to ask? One thing I didn't put in there tonight that I wanted to talk about was the sense of smell and taste recovery. That is a real thing. And there is actually a way to recover your taste of smell, or your taste and smell, and it's through essential oils. There are 4 oils that will do that. Anyone that invited you here tonight has access to that information, but it is eucalyptus, go figure, lemon, rose, and clove, the free oil of the month. So those 4 oils kind of are the full gamut of our smell receptors. And so smelling each of those every day, retelling your brain what you're smelling through each side of your nose. A couple of people that I've worked with have regained it in a couple of weeks from doing that. So yeah, regenerating new taste buds. Oh, that's a good idea, with a little On Guard mouthwash for sure. Yeah, so if you have someone that needs that recovery or needs that information, reach out to the person that invited you here tonight and they will get you access. There's actually a research study that has proven that process. And so we'll get you the information for all of that. So that was a question you didn't have, but you should have had, that I came up with. Anybody else have any other questions? Because I meant to go through that and totally forgot. Questions from the room? These cute ladies over here hiding. If you don't have rose, what can you use instead? Geranium would be what I would recommend substituting rose with. You will be able to watch this again and take notes, yes, for the next 24 hours. So this recording will stop as soon as I hit stop. Let's just do that now and get it going. As soon as it